got hurt to the body before. You think I don't know that? He got hurt to the body before.
What fight was it?
Wasn't no fight. Ask him.
About when he got hurt to the body.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been checking Google, I've been checking Twitter, Instagram, every website imaginable to find out when this rematch was gonna happen. August 16th. I got my answer. Hey, money is on Tank, bro. Money is on Tank.
We're running it back. Gervonta Tank Davis just confirmed the rematch with Lamont Roach, and this time, it's personal. But right after dropping that bombshell, Tank made a shocking confession, and now the internet's split. Dude straight up admitted he was fighting through an injury in that first fight. Was that the reason he looked off? Or is this just Tank looking for excuses after barely walking away with that draw? Either way, that rematch is locked in, and best believe, it's going to be way more heated.
I could have stopped him. It's me. Definitely my fault. It's all right. You know what I mean? You live and you learn. I definitely could have. That was on me too. That was on me for sure. Cause I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up, and I could have definitely did more. Just a lot going on. But again, it was myself, you know. But you gotta go to the gym and, you know, get back to the drawing board and, you know, train a little harder.
In a recent interview that caught everyone off guard, Gervonta Davis confessed he stepped into the ring against Lamont Roach with a lingering injury. He didn't give all the details because, let's be real, Tank always keeps some mystery, but the way he said it, you could tell it wasn't cap.
Shit happen all the time. Should be happening. Hey, Mark, I'm all right.
Wait, no. We got that fight coming up. You gotta beat it, bro.
And immediately, the boxing world split in two. Half the fans are screaming, "Excuses!" They think Tank's just trying to cover up a bad performance, especially after nearly losing his undefeated streak. But the other half? They're wondering if this explains everything: the slow footwork, the lack of explosiveness, the way Roach was able to absorb his shots and keep pushing forward. So now the question becomes, was Tank really off his game? Or is this just classic damage control?
We did how many rounds? We probably did at least 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the bad for about 8-2.
Yeah.
It was good. You're not in bad shape.
Yeah. Just got pick up my line.
Let's not sugarcoat it. Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach, I was chaotic. On paper, this fight looked like another easy KO for Tank, but what we got instead was one of the most controversial fights of the year. For most of the fight, Roach fought like a man possessed. He was slick, composed, and most importantly, he didn't fold under Tank's power.
Honestly, that's how I train. I feel like one of my strong points is exchanging in the pocket. I have a very good eye, very good defense. I'm able to counter and return shots, and I think that's what I did very well. And honestly, I landed some of the bigger shots too.
In fact, Roach kept coming forward. Every time Tank tried to land a signature bomb, Roach either blocked it or fired right back. And when Tank did manage to land, Roach just ate them up like brunch.
How do you assess his power after being in there for 12?
He got decent power. For sure. I ain't gonna say it's exaggerated. I told you I got a chin. I ain't going like that. It's just not gonna happen. But like I said, I see why he knocked people out, and I think he felt my power too. Like, I think that's what negated a lot of his shots. And once I took his best shot, I was like, oh yeah, it's time to roll. Like I said, I knew I had a chin. I mean, I spar guys that were like junior middleweights, like current champions that was at that weight. So I know I can take a punch. He's twitchy in there. Like, I do see why he knocked people out. I mean, like, being up close and personal, obviously I seen it on the TV like that, but I understand why he knocked people out. I'm not going to tell y'all because y'all going to tell him.
But the real controversy? That infamous 9th round. Let's talk about the moment, round 9. The moment that's now under investigation by the Boxing Commission. Tank Davis, the king of knockouts, took a knee. Let that sink in.
Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leaned with right.
He took a knee.
He took a knee. What is he doing?
He forgot his... It's got to be a knockdown.
What in the world is happening?
Took a knee. He's got to count.
I understand. You take a knee like that, that looks like a knockdown. All right? Back up. Back up.
Midway through the round, after a brutal combination from Roach, Tank buckled and dropped to one knee. The ref somehow missed it. And because it wasn't officially ruled a knockdown, the scoring didn't reflect what actually happened.
Tank, you voluntarily took a knee midway through this fight. It was not ruled a knockdown. What happened?
I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my shit, so the shit was like, you know, like when you sweating and things like that, and the grease come in my face, it burnt my eyes type shit. Damn, why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. Come on, man. Look at my hair. I just got my shit done. But it's all cool, man. You know how I get. They love you and then they hate you. Turn around and love you again. You know what I mean?
Boxing legends, analysts, fans, even some fighters were calling for the result to be overturned. Because let's be honest, if that knockdown had been counted, Roach probably walks away with the W Tank's undefeated streak gone. Roach, the new champ. And now that a rematch is confirmed, everything is on the line.
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
You gotta give it to Lamont. Roach Dude walked into the Lion's Den and came out without a scratch. Not only did he survive Tank's power, but he arguably outboxed him. And now that the rematch is happening, Roach is walking with real confidence.
I already signed. My first contract is signed for an immediate rematch in the case of a draw or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him. I hope we can get it done because I want to show the world again that that wasn't a fluke.
This isn't the same guy who was once seen as a stepping stone. This is a man who stood toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis and made the world question if Tank was really as unstoppable as we thought.
Lamont, you've now shown the world the formula to how to beat Tank Davis.
Maybe not. I mean, I'm me. You know, I don't think a lot of guys possess the same skills that I have. If they go in there and try to fight like me, they might not succeed.
Roach has made it clear. He believes he won the first fight, and this time around, he's coming to leave no doubts. He's already said in interviews that Tank's power doesn't scare him. And honestly, after that performance, why would it?
Clearly in there, man, I thought I won. I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the bills. I've been telling y'all that. And I'm just glad I got to show it, honestly. I'm glad I got to show it. I appreciate, like I said before, I appreciate true boxing media. Some guys that didn't count me out. So that's just how I feel, man. I think I won. And, I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to dance again.
That's the scary part for Tank. Because when you're known as a knockout artist and someone proves they can take your best shot and keep coming, that changes everything.
Tank Davis.
Bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. You know, back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer. George was a puncher. Ernest Shavers was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, like, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's like, I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in.
Yeah, he fights to the level of his competition. He was doing that a lot.
And he got to be careful of that.
2 fights ago, he was really doing that.
You feel me? So you got to be careful of that because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate them, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you got to be careful of. Other than that, Tank is a really good fighter.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Tank's attitude toward boxing has shifted drastically. He's been on camera talking about how he doesn't love the sport anymore.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
He's been saying he's thinking about retiring. He literally called boxing boring. And on top of that, he was smoking during camp.
It's been to the streets. I know you ain't focused. Better tighten up.
That's why I got everybody out of there. That's why I got everybody out of there. Can they see my page again?
Better
Can
tighten
they see my
up.
page now?
Calvin Ford, his longtime trainer and father figure, even walked away because of it.
Something is definitely going on between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis. Now, we all seen that knockdown in the 9th round, but what you probably didn't see is what happened after that in between rounds. Check this out. Coach Barry Hunter trained Tank for this fight with Lamont Roach, not Calvin Ford. A lot of people were saying that this performance has something to do with that. So, is something really going on between Calvin Ford and Tank Davis? Check out what Tank had to say.
No, I wasn't really paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean? I was more so. It's something we gotta work on in the corner, for sure.
We're not just watching a fighter getting older. We're watching a man who seems mentally checked out. I mean, this guy has been fighting less in the ring and more with the law nowadays.
Well, let me ask you this. I was just talking to her. What if she told me that you beat the piss out of her and you jumped on top of her and started punching her in the face? Should I just go ahead and take that as...
but don't you know...
It's your side of the story. Give your side.
Have you just talking to her, though? With the information that she gave you, can she tell you?
You want me to just take everything she says?
I'm not from here.
Okay, but you want me to just take everything she says as fact?
All I'm just saying is I'm not from here. I don't know her exact address.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not asking for her exact address. She's saying you hit her. She does have a mark on her lip, and it's under.
I have a mark right here.
Did she hit you?
Turn around.
For battery.
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. What's his first name?
Gervonta.
Tank might be physically healing, but is he mentally ready for what's coming? Let's not forget, Tank Davis is stepping into this rematch without the same team that got him to the top. No Calvin Ford, no Floyd Mayweather in his corner, no blueprint that's worked time and time again.
Stop head hunting. That's how you get the head.
I need this 10, 11, and 12 on the unofficial. He's down.
Okay. He say unofficial.
On the unofficial. I gotta be honest with you. That's what you want. You want from me. Hey, that's what you want from me. You don't want nobody lying to you. I'm 100 with you.
He said on the unofficial, not the real card, here. Keep picking your shot. You took that round off, here.
That's my job. I'm 100 with you.
Well, that was fascinating.
Roach knows he can hurt Tank. He knows Tank can be broken. And if things start going south in this fight, who's going to help Tank adjust? That's the pressure he's walking into, alone. And many pros think it's bad for Tank to fight Roach again after what Roach did in the first fight.
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
This isn't just another title defense. If the commission rules that Tank lost the first fight, and yes, they are still reviewing it, then Tank enters this rematch not as a defending champion, but as a challenger. That changes the whole dynamic.
Hopefully the commission gets this right. It was a bummer not being declared the winner on a technicality that could be righted, that wrong could be righted, obviously, in different ways, in different facets.
Tank's reputation? On the ropes. His undefeated record? At risk. His place in the pound-for-pound conversation? Hanging by a thread.
The New York State Athletic Commission makes a statement yesterday that they're going to be reviewing Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach, 9th round, knockdown, not a knockdown, whatever, to see what the final ruling on their part is going to be. New York State Athletic Commission has been busy. The Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia shit, now Tank Davis, Lamont Roach. We'll see what they decide in this situation. I think ultimately with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, they made the correct decision, overturning Ryan Garcia's victory. We'll see what they decide here with Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. Me, myself, personally, I think that it's a very tricky situation. And it deserves a full video, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get all my thoughts out in this video. But I do want to ask everyone watching this video, what do you think? Do you think they should overturn the decision and award Lamont Roach the victory? Do you think because of all the controversy, they should throw the draw out and declare it a no contest? Do you think they should do nothing? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll give mine in another video, but New York State Athletic Commission reviewing the Tank Davis Lamont Roach 9th round controversy. Let me know your thoughts. See you soon. Peace.
And worst of all, every rival he's ducked or dismissed is watching closely. Shakur Stevenson called Tank exposed and said he's never been the guy people thought he was.
Shakur, did you think it was a draw? No. I thought Lamont won. Who you thought won? Lamont. You thought Lamont won? By how many rounds? I don't know. You still want the Tank Davis fight? You said what? You still want the Tank Davis fight? What went wrong? What went wrong?
Ryan Garcia, who Tank knocked out, clowned him on social media for struggling against Roach.
That was a knockdown, without a doubt. You can't spin it no other way. It's too clear. And I think the commission needs to do something about it because it can give me an incentive, anytime I'm not feeling good in a fight, take a knee.
Well, they said
and that's not a shot at Tank. I respect Tank and I like Tank a lot, but you can't do that.
They reversed the result of your fight.
Yeah.
Should they reverse the result of that fight as well?
Just depends. Like if that changes the whole fight, if that gives Roach a victory, give him the victory. That's how you keep the integrity of the sport, right? That's why they suspended me, right, to keep the integrity of the sport. So I feel like if you're gonna do it to me, you got to do it to everybody.
And let's not get started with Terrence Crawford. We know there's some serious beef between Bud and Tank. They've been going back and forth on social media for the past couple of months.
If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
So when Tank Davis got outclassed by a guy he was supposed to beat, let's just say Terrence had the best time of his life. He made sure the world knew Tank lost that fight because of that 9th round. And, to be honest, Terrence is far from wrong. If Tank wants to reclaim his title as the top guy again, he needs to dominate Roach in the rematch. Let's break it down. If Tank was truly injured in the first fight, and he comes into this rematch 100% healthy, we might see the old Tank, the one with lightning speed, terrifying knockout power, and vicious accuracy.
My hands, before I go see Tank, I gotta get shots in my hands. Then I gotta make sure my hands is right, because I don't dumb him down with his punches. I let him do it, you know what I'm saying? And he get to a point, you all right? Yeah. Nigga, work. I just feel sorry for them guys that really pushed the button. Martin pushed the button. Y'all see how it went out.
But if Tank was mentally checked out, if the smoking, the boredom, the lack of motivation is still a thing, then this fight might be worse than the first.
Tank Davis, Lamont Roach. I think we need to start with that one.
Yeah.
What transpired in that fight was astounding because you have to remember Tank Davis was a 16-1 favorite going into this fight. Lamont Roach, while a WBA champion, was moving up from 130 pounds and no one thought he had a chance. And the general demeanor of Tank Davis going into this fight was like, hey man, I'm kind of done with this. I got 3 fights left. I'm going to be done by the end of 2025. I don't really like this sport anymore. Kids, don't do this. Go into soccer. This ain't for you.
Roach now has confidence. He's already stood in front of Tank and didn't flinch. He knows what to expect. And he's not going to be surprised this time. Meanwhile, Tank has to prove he's still that guy. Not just to fans, but to himself. And that's what makes this fight a must-watch. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.